Okay, I just spent $100 on supplies to fix up spray paint and scrapers to scrape off that stuff, a scrub brush, a whole bunch of things, painter's tape, plastic, rust reformer. I had some stuff in my toolbox already, like some can of already rust stop white gloss, some undercoating I might not even need, some just regular black gloss for the cage and the shelf, foam, spray foam. So I bought this metal brush. I'm gonna try and just scrape up some of the rust flakes and then paint down the floor. I'm gonna save the walls and all that stuff after I put the floor down so that I don't like spray the walls and ceiling and then spray this black and then get the paint screwed up on the walls. Okay, with a mask and some safety glasses, I've scrubbed with the brush on the pole and I used my hand to get down and scrape it. If this was a lot newer of a truck, I probably would have gone more critical with brushing. I'm gonna sweep this up now, vacuum it up, and then paint it. I'm gonna paint everything with the rust reformer and then do a second coat and let that dry and then come in with the floor later on. Okay, I got some rust reformer from Rust-Oleum. I'm gonna heat up the can slowly in some water and put it inside so it's warm. One tip when vacuuming is hitting the floor and making it vibrate, and you can see where dirt is, or if dirt's like stuck in somewhere it might come up. This isn't going to be the Grand Cathedral or whatever. I'm just going to give it a quick coat and I'm going to wear some gloves so I don't get super dirty and a mask. So I forgot, when painting with a spray can, your finger gets very sore. There's a clip-on attachment to use it like a sprayer like this that goes on spray cans, but man, this is 2 cans. I try to do the spots that matter the most, so I missed this spot in here and all that. I might just use regular black paint. This thing's not gonna, is this stuff really gonna make a difference versus regular paint? I'm just trying to cover it. I don't know. Will the van even last that long? I don't know. So I found out that this scraper really doesn't work that well. And I tried some like paint thinner, but I didn't like doing that, so I just used Windex with the scraper. It like came off so much easier and I didn't go through blades nearly as much. It's gonna take a while. The rust reformer over here did nice. I'm just gonna cover with a piece of metal and then the plywood on top to cover this. You know, it's just the body, it's not like frame. So I laid the 2 down and I traced the carpet. Make sure the carpet is face down, because if the wood face is facing up, you know, there's a smooth side and then a rough side. You're gonna have the smooth side up. So you can't lay the bottom of that because then it's upside down. So you lay it just like it would sit in the car on top. It's traced out. These were on the floor laying next to each other. This isn't going to be perfect because that wasn't perfect in there. So now I'm going to cut it out with a jigsaw. So next part is using this metal that came in the truck to cover the rust holes. I have some silicone, some self-tappers, and a template to cover the hole so that I don't get water in here. So I'm going to silicone it where I can, and then the rest will just be, the rest I'll just cover with expanding foam before I put the wood down. So I'm going to beat the metal to where I like it, and then pick it up, silicone it, and put self-tappers. Make sure there's nothing underneath that the self-tappers, you know, are gonna go into. Gonna now slide this in, self-tapper, little bead of silicone. It didn't come out as much as I wanted, but the silicone isn't the only defense. I'll just cut the nozzle bigger next time, but I could also put some silicone in the edges once it's screwed down. Just like that, put some silicone behind it. I'm gonna put a self-tapper here and here. So this is solid right here, and I'm gonna put self-tappers into there when I hold this down. So there's the humps here. I'm gonna measure across each one to the edge here so I know where to put a self-tapper each time. So I'll mark them, write it down somewhere. I'm gonna expanding foam in here and a little bit over here just to try and lift this up. And there's gonna be wood. The wood's gonna come to about here when I cut it. I checked where the door goes. Okay, silicone is down. I traced it. You can't really see the Sharpie marks, but traced it. Gonna spray foam in here now. Lay it down and self-tapper. Okay, it's all screwed down. I just need some more expanding foam. I kind of ran out. That thing was actually not as full as I had hoped. So it pushed out here. I'll show you the other spot. I filled it in this hole. I sprayed a whole bunch because I hoped it would go under and fill any cracks that might have been around this rust hole. So I'm gonna grab another one. I'm just gonna shoot it under here, all around these. Fill up here because I want to fill that rust hole in the body. And then there's that. I did that corner. And in there. And the plywood is going to cover it. But see, I'm going to expanding foam all in here. Okay. Just sprayed more expanding foam in all the cracks that I could find under my patches, and I filled those. I don't know, OCD just made me use up the rest of the cans to fill that up. This is really where it mattered, was this area here along this patch, silicone and expanding foam. I'm gonna lay down the plywood now over some plastic, and I just wasted some over here. And on that one wasn't actually rusted, but maybe it'll rust in the future. But I don't know, I filled the cracks because I'm bored and I had too much left over. It took more than one can, but not 2 cans.